Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please click like and subscribe and go to my page for the first part of this series. I'm sorry for using a different narrator's voice app since the one I used before isn't working. I hope you guys understand. Also, a little trigger warning for a panic attack scene. You'll know when from the change of BG music. So yeah, sit back, relax and enjoy your daily dose of SakuAtsu. I can do this. Yes, you can. Sakusa chuckled as he felt Atsumu tighten his hold on his hand while bouncing, jogging in place. I can do this. That's right. No fuck wait. I can't. Omi, let's go back. Atsumu quickly turned away and walked to the opposite direction, but Sakusa tugged his hand back. Hey, come back. I thought we talked about this. No, I just can't, Omi. I'm sorry I let you down. So, you're just giving up that easily? Yes, I didn't know you were that kind of person, Mia. Disappointment laced in the spiker's voice as he stared blankly at Atsumu. Alright, let's go back. He turned his heel back and walked to the opposite direction, leaving Atsumu dumbfounded. Did he just? Wait, I'll do it. He pulled Sakusa's arm back. He was now determined to do it, but he knew deep down he was terrified. In fact, he was slightly trembling. He had to do this for himself and for his lover. Final answer. Atsumu nodded, earning a smirk from Sakusa. Okay, there's no turning back now. The setter gripped tightly on Sakusa's hand, took a deep breath, and together they walked forward. His heart was hammering wildly in his chest and it felt like it would fall off any minute now. We'll be alright, yeah. Omi-kun. Yeah. No matter what happens, don't let go, okay? I won't. And those were their last words as they walked together inside the haunted mansion. The next events that happened were filled with Atsumu's terrified screams as he pushed and pulled Sakusa every time they encountered something scary. I did it. I'm alive. Atsumu proudly puffed his chest and laughed while Sakusa, who looked like someone beat him up, sighed and rubbed his temple. You ruined my shirt. Hey, it's not my fault. Those things were scary as fuck. Sakusa couldn't help but chuckle. Well, he'll just have to buy a new shirt along the way. Sure, Mia. Where do we go next? Oh, right. Let's go eat first before the Space Mountain ride. They both drove to Tokyo Disneyland as soon as vacation started. It has been a week since they confessed their love for each other, and since then, things ran smoothly. This trip was a part of their plans and they were both just happy to have this time together. In all honesty, Sakusa wasn't fond of the idea at first, considering he hates crowded places, but seeing the way Atsumu's eyes sparkled instantly changed his mind. He was gonna spoil his boyfriend no matter what. You go find a seat for us, Omi-kun. I'll go get the food. You sure? Atsumu nodded, then left to get food while Sakusa sat on their spot, watching his boyfriend disappear in the crowd. Well, not really disappear. He could still see his head, with a huge Mickey Mouse ears headband, sticking out from the crowd. A 6-footer volleyball player with mouse ears headband was somehow amusing to Sakusa. The more he thought about Atsumu, the wider his smile gets. Frankly, he wasn't expecting for this turn of events, but it seems to him that the odds are in their favor. He's not complaining though. The only problem they had to face was his mother. Omi-kun, are you okay with a burger? They didn't have the one you like. Yeah, it's fine. I like that too. Oh, what a relief. Here, I got us this too. Let's share it. He put down the food and they began to eat. Atsumu began to talk about random things, how he enjoyed the rides they've been on and how he was having so much fun. Normally, eating while talking is a big no-no in the SakuAtsu household. Meal times were very quiet, that all that can be heard were the silverware clicking against the plates. Even so, SakuAtsu enjoyed the silence. But with Atsumu, meal times were his favorite. He felt like he was actually sharing a meal with someone and not just, well, eating. Ah, that was nice. The ravenet reached over his lover's face and wiped a stain at the corner of his lip with a tissue. God, he's a messy eater, he chuckled to himself. Space Mountain. Don't you think it's better to rest first? Rest is for the weak. Let's go, Omi-kun. The day isn't getting any younger. So are you calling me old? Yes, Mia. Yet you act like a spoiled baby. Hey, that's mean. The faux blonde frowned, his lips in a cute pout while he looked up at the spiker. Oh god. But you're mine to spoil. A playful smirk tugged at the corner of Atsumu's lips, his brow raised up. So, are you officially, like, my sugar daddy now? SakuAtsu groaned and rolled his eyes. Please, not that again. Pearls of laughter from deep within filled the spiker's ears while his lover's face lit up. The corner of his eyes wrinkled as he laughed, and SakuAtsu couldn't help but laugh with him. This was nice. It was just them, on a date. As soon as the laughter died down, Atsumu leaned his elbow on the table and cupped his own cheek. He sighed and stared at SakuAtsu as if he was the most beautiful thing he's ever seen. Why are you looking at me like that? Atsumu hummed. Am I not allowed to look at my boyfriend like this? Him? Actually yeah, keep staring. SakuAtsu mimicked his pose and stared back at him. The grin tugging on his lips turned into a soft smile. Hey, Omi. Yes, Sumu. I think I want to go see your mom. The ravenet was taken aback by what he heard, his forehead scrunched in confusion. My mom. Yeah, let's go see her. Ah, okay, but why? Well, I just thought that I want to go ask her permission to date you. You know you don't have to, right? I know, but I want to. Atsumu reached over for his Omi's hand, caressing it with his thumb reassuringly. I mean, your mom's pretty scary, but she's still your mom. SakuAtsu chuckled lightly. Yeah, she can be pretty scary. Let's go see her, Omi-kun. Are you sure about that, Sumu? Yeah, I want to let her know that her son's in good hands, whether if she approves of me or not. SakuAtsu's heart fluttered like it made a mini somersault. No one has ever cared for him the same way Atsumu has, and it made him feel ecstatic. Okay, let's go see her tomorrow, but for now, let's enjoy the rest of the day, yeah. I'd love that. Thank you. Atsumu nodded, a small smile on his face. The rest of the day was filled with them just enjoying themselves in Disneyland. The amusement park was packed with people, yet SakuAtsu didn't care about it much. He enjoyed every single thing they did that day. He even enjoyed the long queue as he stole forehead kisses from Atsumu, who was busy looking at the Disneyland map, planning ahead which rides and shows they should try on next. Their hands intertwined with each other as they went from one ride to another. They took several Polaroid shots on the photo booth, where they both had matching mouse ears headband. They had ice cream breaks to compensate for the hot summer air, plus the fact that Atsumu had a sweet tooth. The ravenet wasn't allowed to consume much sweets as a child, but with Atsumu, he just couldn't say no. The day was magical, to say the least. And they ended it with a bang as they're peacefully wrapped in each other's arms, looking over the sky for the fireworks display. I love you, Atsumu. Omi, Hey, it's okay. You don't have to say it back. I just wanted to let you know that I love you. Atsumu smiled, tears filling his eyes to the brim, and he laid his head on his boyfriend's shoulder as he squeezed his hand tighter. With a sigh of contentment, SakuAtsu laid his head on top of Atsumu's, pulling him a little bit closer just in time to see another firework light up the sky. Uncertainties always scared the great SakuAtsu Kiyumi because he rarely had those in his life. His life was already planned, considering how much of a great influence his family has in the business industry. After his father's passing, he got into volleyball, which changed his life completely. His once secured future was filled with so much uncertainties that he forgot what it felt like to have a sturdy safety net. That was until he met Atsumu. Although his life was still filled with uncertainties, he was more than willing to go through all of them with Atsumu. He wasn't afraid anymore, and that little, "I love you," wasn't an uncertainty because he knows that they're both reading the same book and that he was just a few chapters ahead. Tomorrow is another chapter, but for now, SakuAtsu was just more than happy to call Atsumu his.
サクサはあっち。あいつ、人混み大嫌い。
The following day, the lovers found themselves at the same cafe they've been on a few months ago when they met SakuAtsu's mother for the first time. Just like before, they arrived early and waited for her, but unlike before, they were both calmer and less tense. Mother. SakuAtsu greeted as she made her way towards the table. Kyo. Good afternoon, Mom. Surprisingly, she greeted Atsumu with a curt nod and sat down gracefully. What is all this about? SakuAtsu glanced over at Atsumu and gave him an encouraging smile. Mom, thank you for sparing us a little bit of your time, and we'll make this as short as possible, so let me get straight to the point. I'm Atsumu Miya and I'm dating your son. Yes, I am aware. Is there anything else you want to talk about? If not, I would like to take my leave. Mom. SakuAtsu snapped. He gritted down on his teeth and glared at his mother. He just didn't like the way he looked down on Atsumu. Is this how you treat your mother, Kyo? I did not raise such insolent child. The ravenet let out a humorless chuckle. You didn't raise me. You were too busy looking after your company to even raise a child. I see. You only invited me here to disrespect me. No, Mom. I'm sorry, please hear me out. Atsumu, who was suffocating with the tension between the two SakuAtsus, held his boyfriend's hand to calm him down. He looked over at SakuAtsu with a pleading look. I know you don't approve of us yet, but I'm willing to work on it. I just want you to know that your son's in good hands and I will do my best to take care of him. Atsumu stood up and bowed. So please, allow me to date your son. The faux blonde maintained his pose, his head bowed down so low, his back bent forward. He was somehow waiting for a response. Anything. But he felt SakuAtsu's hand against his, pulling him down. Sumu. When the faux blonde lifted his head up was only when he realized that SakuAtsu's mom already left. Atsumu didn't know he was holding his breath in until he inhaled deeply. His legs buckled and he collapsed on his chair. Hey, are you okay? SakuAtsu held his sides and eyed Atsumu's face. To his surprise, the setter was laughing. Oh my god. What's wrong? I did it. Atsumu's body was entirely trembling, sweat formed at his temple, and yet he was happy. SakuAtsu looked concerned. He was also upset and fuming with his mom's behavior, but most of all, he was worried about Atsumu. He was afraid that his mom's intimidating aura has finally ruined Atsumu. What do you mean? I practiced the whole night just to say those lines. Fuck. You did. Yeah. My heart's beating so fast. Atsumu clutched on his chest and took deep breaths. Meanwhile, SakuAtsu was still confused as fuck. What the hell is going on? Love, I'm sorry, but I'm confused. Why are you so happy? She didn't say yes to us dating. Yeah, but she didn't say no too. A bright smile was plastered across Atsumu's face. Determination filled his eyes. The look he made was the same look he has whenever he did the perfect set. He looked thrilled, challenged, even. And Atsumu was never one to back down from challenges. Let's convince your mom until she says yes. His eyes widened at Atsumu's remark, but his shock was immediately replaced by an amused chuckle. He cupped Atsumu's both cheeks, pulled him in for a forehead kiss. You're something else, Miya. But yes, let's convince her. They both shared a loving moment until Atsumu pulled away, scowled, and slapped SakuAtsu's arm, earning him a yelp from the germaphobe. Ow, what the hell was that for? Stop being rude to your mom. What? You kept provoking her. You have to apologize. But she was being mean to you. Atsumu crossed his arm over his chest and raised a brow at his lover. Fine. Fine what? SakuAtsu groaned. I'll apologize. Good. Atsumu hummed, pleased at the ravenet's response. What do you want to do now? Well, let's just spend the rest of the day together. Sounds good to me. Atsumu's POV. That evening, Sakusa dropped Atsumu off his apartment. The blonde did his evening routine and peacefully laid in bed. He has been thinking about ways on how to convince his lover's mom to allow him to date. He swore that they were gonna do everything, and honestly, the faux blonde seemed to be excited about it. A loud ring reverberated over his room, taking him out of his trance. He looked over his phone and it was a call from a number he didn't recognize, and yet he still answered anyway. Hello, who's this? The voice on the other line sent shivers down his spine. He knew exactly who it was. Atsumu. Ushijima. I see you're doing well. What do you want? He bit his lower lip to keep his voice from breaking. I heard that you and Kiyumi are together. Yes, and I'm sure you didn't just call me to say that. You're right. I called to tell you to stay away from him. He's too good for you. He's too good for you. It was as if he was saying that Atsumu is not good enough for Sakusa. Atsumu was not good enough. Atsumu shook his head violently and pinched his leg to get him back to reality. He wasn't letting his insecurities get in his way this time. Once was enough. And you think you're good enough for him? His mother chose me, after all. Well, go date his mother then. His mother chose you, right? But he didn't. Ushijima laughed on the other line, which only made Atsumu's blood boil, but he had to keep his cool, and so he took a deep breath and continued on with the conversation. You're quite amusing. By the way, how is Osamu? I heard he stopped playing volleyball. Atsumu gulped. Endure it a little longer, he thought to himself. Thank you for taking Osamu's well-being into account, but do you want his number? You can call him and check on him personally, if that's what you want. That wouldn't be necessary. I just called to warn you. Warn me. That won't be necessary as well. As long as Sakusa will continue to choose me, we wouldn't have a problem. I see that you're not on first name basis with Kiyumi yet. That says a lot. Anyway, thank you for your time and see you on court. A beep at the end of the line indicated that the call has finally ended. What the fuck was that? Atsumu sat up and took deep breaths. His vision was getting hazy, his ears ringing. It's been a while since he had a panic attack, and this one was one of the worst. His chest tightened and his head was starting to ache. His trembling hand held his phone and looked for the number that belonged to that someone who knows exactly what to do when shit is about to go down. Hello, soon. So that was it, guys. What do you guys think? Comment down below and see you on my next video.